Hey guys, today I'm going to be taking you through creating a customer portal powered by your Airtable data in Stacker. By doing this, you can allow your customers to log into a branded portal where they can access their data but not see anyone else's data from your base. Let's take a look. So here we've got a base from a company called The Insurance People, and in it they keep track of the companies who they sell to, so their customers, the policies that that company has, the employees at the company who are covered by those policies, and any claims made against them. So the companies are going to be who's going to be logging into this, and we've already got a contact email field which will allow the representative from that company to log in. So let's see how to set that up in Stacker. I've already gone through and done the connection step, so now we're going to choose who the users are that will be logging into this app. We can choose the companies table, and we can choose that email field we just looked at, which will let them log in using that email address. We'll keep all these active for now. And at this point, you can add your own logo or personalize the brand color. Let's leave that as it is. All right. So we're now logged in as an admin. And if we click on one of these tabs along the top, which correspond to the tabs we saw in Airtable, we can see that right now we can see all the companies. Now, the point of this is so that each company can only see their own data. So to start off with, let's go and log in as one of those companies to see what this looks like from their perspective. So we'll click the setup cog and choose impersonate users. This lets us log in as one of the users to see what things look like from their perspective. So we'll log in as Europa Corp. And now we can see that we can only see the Europa Corp record. If we click on policies, however, we can still see a lot more policies than are assigned to Europa Corp in the Airtable base. In Airtable, we've only got two policies assigned, whereas here we've got loads. So let's go and see how the companies were set up correctly and what we need to do for policies and all the other tabs to make sure that each company can only see their own data. So if we click on companies, we can click the setup cog and go to companies permissions. Permissions is how we control who can see what and who can do what within the Stacker app. And because this is the table that we set up to be our users, we've automatically set this up so that the users logging in can only access their own company record. We've also set it so that they can update any details on their record, but they can't create new company records. Now let's leave it like that because that seems sensible, but let's just expand out this fields option here. So right now they have full access to all the fields on their company record, both for reading and writing. But you can see here we've got this internal notes field that is private for the staff of the Insurance People to add notes about this account. So we're going to remove that so that the companies logging in can't access that field. So they won't be able to view that field when they log in. And let's also just stop them from being able to update their name, just so that we can always tell which company account is linked to which company. Okay, great. So the permissions are set up well now for companies. Let's go and see what that looks like on the policies tab. So we do the same thing again, click on the policies tab, and we'll go to policies permissions. So you can see here that this is set up so that the company users logging in right now can access all the records. And that's why when we logged in as Europa, we were able to see all the policies, not just their own. So let's change that. We'll set this so they can only access some records. And what we're going to do here is use the link from policy to company. So we've got this link field, which points back to company. And that is how Stacker does permissions to limit which users can access which records. We use link fields that point into the user record to limit what they can see. So we're going to try to match here the company assigned to the policy to that user. And for now, we're not going to let them update their policy, and we're not going to let them create new policies. And we are happy with all of these fields, so we'll keep all fields turned on. Let's just go and have a look for employees. So these are the employees at the company. And if we look at employee permissions, we can see still these are able to access all the records. And we'd prefer that to only be some records. So each company can only see the employees at their company. So again, we have a link in the employees table to the company. So we can set up this permission so that the employees company has to match the user logging in. We will let them create and update employee records here. And let's go and have a look as one of our users again and see how that looks from their perspective. So we'll log in again as Europa. And here we can see they can only see their own company record. When we go to the policies tab, they can only see the 2 policies that was in the Airtable for their company. And they can only see the 2 employees at their company on this page. So now let's go and have a look at claims. So the claims table is slightly more complicated. We don't have a link between claim and company. So there's no straight link between claim direct to company, but claims are linked to a policy, and a policy is linked to companies. So claims has this field called policy, and if we go to the companies tab, on the companies tab we have a list of all the policies at each company. And that is enough for us to do a match and use the stack of permissions system to limit the claims that they can see to only the claims matching their policies. So let's go ahead and do that as well. So we'll click claims permissions here and change this so that they can only see some records. And here we have to match the claims policy to be one of the policies at the company. Now remember, these users are companies. So one of the policies attached to the user who's logged in has to match the policy for this claim. For now, we're not going to let them update any claims or create claims. So we'll just let them view the claims assigned to them. Finally, we've got cover type, and this is more of a reference table. So this isn't specific per user. This is the general cover types that the insurance people offers. So we want to keep that open in terms of access. So each record should be able to be seen by every user. But since this is reference only, we don't want them to add new ones. We don't want them to update them. So that should now be set up so that each user can only see the data relevant to them. Now let's go and try and make this a little more visually appealing. So the first thing we can do is take these tabs and edit how they look to make it easier for people to, at a glance, see what they're interested in. So let's start with the employees page. We can click this edit layout button. And now we get a panel at the side which lets us change how the app is displaying this particular page. So let's start off by displaying these as cards. And we've automatically taken the image field that was in the Airtable and chosen that as the card cover. At this point, we probably don't need to see their phone number, and we know which company it is because that's who we're logged in as. So we can simplify this view by limiting those options and making this more useful. We can also change the title here, so we can say employees at your company. Or if we really want to, we can make this a generally more pleasant and descriptive page by adding a title. So we can just, and we can say add your employees to give them cover. Now, a really great way to make these pages attractive is to add an image on, and this image will be used as a kind of banner header, and so we can just choose something that is somewhat decorative. You can choose photography, anything that just adds a little bit of interest to this portal. and we'll maybe make this a little bit smaller. That's looking good, and we'll put a dark overlay on that. Great, that's looking a lot better. So now we can close this and save those changes. Now our employees page is looking a lot richer than before. Let's just click in and edit the profile of one of the employees. So this is the standard detail page that every Stacker app ships with, but nearly always you'll want to change this to make it more obvious what information is relevant and how people should be using this. So let's go and edit this layout as well. So we've got the default template applied, but because we know this is a user profile, we can actually set this to be a profile kind of layout. And again, we've pulled this image from the employee table. But if you want to change which image is used, you can do that here. We also have the ability to change the fields which appear, which we can do by clicking this, and this will add some fields down here so that we can use this main space for more important information. So here we're going to add on the phone number and the department, and I guess the employee number as well. We can rearrange this to put the information in the relevant order. Great. So now we've got this overall section is we've already transferred most of it across. So let's actually go ahead and get rid of that. And now we've got a big space where we can add maybe some more interesting information. So here we can add new items to this layout depending on how we want to display the data. So we just had a field container which allowed us to display any fields from the user's record. But what we can also do is bring on things like a list of records. So we can just drop that here, and we can choose for some records related to this object to be displayed in a list on their page. So let's go on and we'll just put in the policies, and we'll choose the default policy layout, and we'll just call this employees policies. Great. And so from here, we can create a look that has the information that is relevant specifically to this employee without having to go between different tabs to see it all. Let's do the same with claims, and we'll add a record list here and choose the records related to this object, and we'll use this claims layout. So this employee's got no claims, but any claims that are added would come directly in here. And let's turn on this option to allow you to add new linked records from this list. Great, that's already looking loads better. Finally, when we click into the companies page, as a user, you'll only see one company on this page. So it seems quite weird to have this as something in a table kind of view. So we could make that a little bit nicer and display these as a row to make it feel a little less weird that you can only see one thing. But actually, we've got a better way to do that. By clicking one record only, we'll show the user the first record available to them in full screen mode. And since we know that each user will only be able to see their own company record when they log in, this will be able to show them their company's profile immediately. So let's click in and edit this detail page layout. And we'll do the same thing. We'll turn this into a profile, and here we'll remove most of these sections because we've already got these covered in these tabs. So we'll get rid of policies, we'll get rid of logo because that's at the side. We'll add some of this more normal information into this side section. We'll take away the internal notes from here. So now we've got this information on this page. We can actually take away this because we already can see this here. So now we've got details about billing and details about their company, their address. In order to make this an easier page to look at and understand, we can add sections to break up the content. So we've already got one default section, but let's add a second one, and we'll just drag this up somewhere here. So now we can separate out the billing information from the company's policy information. So let's rename this to say company details. And we'll call the second section billing details. Great. Now all we need to do is save this, log in as one of these companies, and we'll see what this looks like from their point of view. So we'll log in into Europa Corp. Immediately they see their own company page, and if we click into their employees tab, they can see just their 2 employees with this kind of nice header on, and clicking in, we can see the employees' details, we can see the records linked to them, and we can edit any of the relevant information that we've allowed to be editable in our permissions. That's it for a really quick look at how to create a customer portal using your Airtable data powered by Stacker.